Welcome, friends. Welcome to the channel Learn and Teach by Ayaz. I'm your teacher and host, Sayyid Ayazuddin Haider. And in this video, I will talk about May-June 2023 paper 0620 and the variant is 21. This is multiple choice extended one, so paper 2, and the time is 45 minutes. The total marks for this paper is 40, and for each questions there are 4 possible answers: A, B, C and D. So it means you have to choose only one correct answer. In this paper, periodic table will be provided to you and you can use calculator. So let's start the paper. Here's question number 1. The diagram shows the result of dropping a purple crystal into water. This is a purple crystal and it's dropped in water. After 5 hours, the purple solution is obtained. Which processes take place in this experiment? Obviously, there isn't any kind of chemical reaction taking place. In this case, only diffusion and dissolving is happening. So choice D will be the right answer in this case. Question number 2. Which row about elements, mixtures and compounds is correct? A. Metallic element, copper, this is correct. Non-metallic element, methane, this is wrong. So obviously choice A will be the incorrect answer in this case. I've already told you, try to narrow down your choices when you are choosing the right answer for multiple choice questions. Choice B, metallic element, brass. Brass is an alloy, so this is also incorrect. C, metallic element, copper, this is correct. Non-metallic element, sulfur, this is also correct. Mixture, brass. Brass is an alloy and it's a mixture. Compound, methane. So choice C will be the right answer in this case. For your convenience, I am reading the last statement. Metallic element, brass, this is incorrect, so D is also incorrect. Question number 3. The atomic structures of 4 particles W, X, Y and Z are shown. We have W, X, Y and Z. Which particles are isotopes of the same element? Isotopes are different atoms of the same element. Different atoms of the same element having same proton number and different nucleon number or number of neutrons. So these two isotopes must be having same number of protons but different number of neutrons. So W and X, let's compare the number of electrons, neutrons and protons for W and X. W and X, there are different number of protons, so this can't be the right answer. What about W and Y? In case of W and Y, you can see the number of neutrons are only different. The electrons and protons are same. So B must be the right answer. For your convenience, I am reading the choices C and D also. C, X and Y, if you compare X and Y, you will see the number of protons are different, so this is also incorrect. In case of D, X and Z, you have different number of electrons. as well as different number of electrons. So this is also incorrect. Number 4, which statement explains why isotopes of the same element have the same chemical properties? Same chemical properties is due to the presence of same number of outer shell electrons. So obviously choice A will be the right answer in this case. They have the same number of outer shell electrons. Other choices are incorrect. They have same number of neutrons. This is wrong. They must have different number of neutrons. They have different number of protons. This is also incorrect because they have same number of protons. They have different mass number. This is also incorrect. Chemical property does not depend on the mass numbers. Nitrogen forms a nitride ion with the formula N3-. Which particle does not have the same electronic configuration as a nitride ion? Let's look at the position of nitrogen in this periodic table. Here is nitrogen. N3- means it must have 10 electrons. Other choices we have Al3+, Cl-, Na+, O2-. Al3+, Cl-, Na+, O-2. If you count the number of electrons on Al3+, Al is in group 3. Here is Al. 13 is the proton number, which means it has 13 electrons. After losing 3 electrons, it must have 10 electrons. So this can't be the right choice, Al3+. What about Cl-? Cl- in group 7. Its proton number is 17, which means it has 17 electrons. After gaining 1 electron, it has gained, now it has 18 electrons. So this looks correct to me. What about Na+? Na+ in group 1, it has 11 electrons because the proton number is 11. So after losing 1 electron, it will form Na+, which means now it's left with 10 electrons. So obviously Cl- will be the right answer in this case. Number 6, which row describes the formation of single covalent bonds in methane? A, atoms share a pair of electrons. Both atoms gain a noble gas electronic structure. Here's the structure of methane. I'm just showing the valence electrons for each atom. Dot for hydrogen and cross for carbon. Carbon has shared 4 of its electrons, and each hydrogen atom sharing 1 of their electrons. Hydrogen atom gain helium configuration. So this is correct. What about carbon? Carbon is in period 2, which means it's gaining neon configuration. For your convenience, I am showing you the position of carbon also. This is the position of carbon. Here it is carbon. It's acquiring the configuration of neon. It will share 4 electrons, 4 of the electrons coming from hydrogen. So this statement looks correct to me. For your convenience, I am reading the other statements. B, atoms share a pair of electrons. This is correct. What about the other column? Both atoms have the same number of electrons in their outer shell. This is incorrect because carbon have now 8 electrons in its valence shell, while each hydrogen have 2 electrons in their valence shell. This one is carbon. So this is incorrect. C, electrons are transferred from one atom to another. This is wrong because electrons are not transferred, because here we are having covalent bonds. In covalent bonds, there is a sharing of electrons, not transfer of electrons. So this is incorrect. D, Electrons are transferred from one atom to another. Again, this is incorrect. So A will be the right answer in this case. Number 7, which formula is an empirical formula? A, C2H4O. This looks correct to me because you can't simplify this any further. Empirical formula is the simplest formula of any compound. Simplest formula of a compound. And if you look at the formula, this can't be simplified any further. C2H4O. What about B? It's C4H8O2, which means it can be simplified further, and we will get C2H4O. So this can't be the right answer. What about C? If you write the molecular formula for this one, it will be C4H8O2. Same case, you will get C2H4O as its empirical formula. This is also incorrect. Last one. How many carbon here? 1, 2, 3, 4. C4H 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Again, C4H8O2. So this is also incorrect. A will be the right answer in this case. Number 8. Heating iron sulfide FeS2 in air produces sulfur dioxide. This is a reaction. 4 moles of FeS2 reacting with 11 moles of O2, producing 2 moles of Fe2O3 and 8 moles of SO2. What is the maximum mass of sulfur dioxide produced from 120 kilogram of iron sulfide? In this case, we need to calculate the MR of both iron sulfide and sulfur dioxide. So MR for MR of FeS2. Look at the position of Fe. Here it is Fe. 56 it is AR, and S sulfur is here 32. 56 and 32. So we have 56 plus 2 multiplied by 32. You will add these 56 plus 64 and 120. 4 plus 6, 10. 6 plus 5 and 1, 12, 120. So we have 4 moles of FeS2, which means we have to multiply it by 4 also. So you will get 0, 8, 4, 480. What about MR of SO2? SO2. S is 32 and oxygen 16. So we have a 32 plus 2 multiplied by 16, which you will get 32 plus 32 plus 32, we will get 64. And we are having 8 moles of SO2. So 8 multiplied by 64. 64 multiplied by 8 will get 512. So FeS2 SO2 480 kg gives 512 kg of SO2. Therefore, 120 kg FeS2 gives X kilogram of SO2. Do the cross, we will get this 480X is equal to 512 multiplied by 120, or X is equal to 512 multiplied by 120 divided by 480. So 512 multiplied by 120 is equal to divided by 480, and we are getting 128, which is B here, and B is the right answer in this case. Number 9, which substance produces hydrogen and bromine when electrolyzed? A. Concentrated aqueous copper 2 bromide. Concentrated aqueous copper 2 bromide will give copper, Cu, and bromine. B. So A must be the wrong answer. B. Concentrated aqueous sodium bromide. You know that sodium will never get deposit. Instead, hydrogen will get deposit. So we will get hydrogen gas, H2, and bromine, Br2. So this is also incorrect. Choice C. Sorry, this is the right answer. This is the right answer because in the question they are asking hydrogen and bromine. So this is the right answer. For your convenience, I am reading the other statements. Dilute aqueous potassium bromide. We will get hydrogen. And oxygen. So this is incorrect. What about D? Molten lead to bromide. We will get lead and bromine. So this is also incorrect. So B will be the right answer in this case. Question number 10. Which statements about hydrogen fuel cells are correct? A. Water is formed as the only waste product. This is correct statement. 2. Both water and carbon dioxide are formed as waste product. This is incorrect because we are not getting carbon dioxide during the reactions in hydrogen fuel cells. And number 3, the overall reaction is 2H2 plus O2 gives 2H2O. This is also correct. 4, the overall reaction is endothermic. This is incorrect because overall reaction is exothermic. So 1 and 3 is correct. A will be the right answer in this case. Number 11, ethene gas C2H4 is completely burned in excess oxygen to form carbon dioxide and water. The equation for this exothermic reaction is shown. C2H4 plus 3O2 gives 2CO2 plus 2H2O. The table shows the bond energies involved in the reaction. Here's the table. These are the bonds. We have C double bond C, CH bond, O double bond O, C double bond O, O bond H, and bond energy in kilojoule per mole is given. What is the total energy change in this reaction? So for this reaction, you need to draw the displayed formula, which will help you in calculating the energy change in this reaction. So C2H4 is ethene. C2H4 is ethene. Here's the formula of C2H4. C double bond C, H, 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 plus 3O2. 1, 2, 3. And on the product side, we are getting 2 moles of carbon dioxide. Double bond, plus 2 moles of water. H, O, H, H, O, H. So C double bond C is 614. 614 plus we have 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 CH bonds, so we'll multiply 4 by 413. Plus we have 3 O double bond O, so 3 multiplied by 495. Now we'll subtract this for the energy released in the bond making. So bond, how many bonds are made? We have C double bond O, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 C double bond O. So we have 4 multiplied by 799. Plus we have 4 OH bond, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 multiplied by 467. So 614 plus 413 multiplied by 4 gives 1652 plus 3 multiplied by 495, 1485 minus 4 multiplied by 799. We will get 3196 plus 4 multiplied by 467 gives 1868. Finally, we'll get 614 plus 1652 plus 1485 minus 3196 minus 1868. So C will be the right answer in this case. Minus 1313. Number 12. Which row describes the effect on the activation energy and the frequency of particle collisions when the temperature of a chemical reaction is increased? Remember, the activation energy is not increased when you increase the temperature of a chemical reaction. So there won't be any change for activation energy. So either B is correct or D is correct. Both A and C is incorrect. The frequency of collision will also increase. So B will be the right answer in this case. Number 13. Solid copper 2 sulfate exists in two different forms, anhydrous and hydrated. One of these forms is blue and the other is white. The change between these two forms is reversible. Blue form gives white form. You see, the sign tells us this is reversible. What is the blue form and how is the change from the blue form to the white form brought about? Blue form is the hydrated, so either C is correct or D is correct. A and B is incorrect. And if you want to change it to white form, simply heat it. So D will be the right answer. In this case, C is incorrect. Number 14. Sodium ions Na plus and oxygen ions O2 minus combine with chromium ions to form a salt. The salt sodium dichromate has the formula Na2Cr2O7. What is the oxidation state of chromium in this salt? So oxidation state of both sodium and O is provided here. We can easily calculate the oxidation state of chromium in this salt. You see, the overall charge is 0. So how many atoms of sodium are there? We have 2 atoms of sodium or 2 ions of sodium. So you will multiply 2 by +1 plus we need to calculate the oxidation state of chromium. We have 2 atoms of chromium or 2 ions of chromium. So we will write 2x plus we have 7 atoms, 7 ions of oxygen. So we will multiply 7 by -2 and overall charge is 0. So we'll get +2 plus 2x minus 14 is equal to 0, or 2x minus 12 is equal to 0. 2x minus 12 plus 12 gives 0. Sorry, plus 12. Plus 12. So we'll get 2x is equal to plus 12, or x is equal to 12 by 2. The final will be plus 6. So C will be the right answer. The concentration of hydrogen ions in 100 centimeter cube of 0.1 mole per dm cube hydrochloric acid is higher than the concentration of hydrogen ions in 100 centimeter cube of 0.1 mole per dm cube ethanoic acid. Which statement explains the difference in hydrogen ion concentration? A. Ethanoic acid is an organic acid. This is incorrect. This is not the reason. B. Ethanoic acid has a lower pH than hydrochloric acid. This looks correct to me. Sorry, this can't be the correct answer because hydrochloric acid is stronger acid than ethanoic acid. So hydrochloric acid must have lower pH than hydrochloric acid. This is also incorrect. Ethanoic acid is partially dissociated. This is the correct statement. to me. For your convenience, I am reading the last statement. Ethanoic acid is a strong acid. This is incorrect. So C will be the right answer in this case. Number 16, which oxide is classified as an amphoteric oxide? This is very easy. You have three oxides in your syllabus which are amphoteric. We have aluminum oxide, Al2O3, lead oxide, PbO, and zinc oxide, ZnO. So obviously A will be the right answer in this case. Other oxides are not amphoteric. Number 17, which method produces the salt copper 2 carbonate? A, add copper 2 oxide to water, then add excess aqueous sodium carbonate, filter off the precipitate. Copper 2 oxide is not soluble in water, so we can't get this reaction going on. B, add copper 2 oxide to dilute sulfuric acid, then add excess aqueous sodium carbonate, filter off the precipitate. This looks correct to me because copper 2 oxide will react with dilute sulfuric acid, producing copper 2 sulfate, and then copper 2 sulfate will react with aqueous sodium carbonate. Both of these are soluble, and we will get the insoluble copper 2 carbonate in this case. So this will be the right answer. For your convenience, I am reading the other statements. Add copper to dilute hydrochloric acid, then add aqueous sodium carbonate, filter off the precipitate. This is incorrect. The reason is that copper does not react with the dilute hydrochloric acid. It's a metal below hydrogen in the reactivity series. D, add copper 2 oxide to excess aqueous sodium carbonate, filter off the precipitate. This is also incorrect. So obviously B will be the right answer in this case. Number 18, which statements about the trends across a period of the periodic table are correct? Number 1, aluminum is more metallic than sodium. Number 2, beryllium is more metallic than carbon. This looks correct to me. The reason is that beryllium and carbon, they are compared on the basis of their metallic character. Beryllium is metallic than carbon. Definitely. Boron is more metallic than lithium. Both of these are metallic, so this can't be the correct statement. The last one, magnesium is more metallic than silicon. It's also correct because magnesium is a metal, silicon is a non-metal. So magnesium is more metallic than silicon. So 2 and 4 is the right statement. C will be the right answer in this case. Number 19, some information about elements in group 2 of the periodic table is shown. Here's the information. So the element, we have beryllium, magnesium, calcium, strontium, barium. The time taken to make 10 centimeter cube of hydrogen gas, 1 gram of metal is added to cold water. In case of beryllium, no reaction. So magnesium and barium, till barium you can see the trend. The reaction is taking place at a fast rate. The time is decreased, the hydrogen produced in a lesser time. What about the trend in density? This does not show any clear trend, and similarly melting point also does not show any clear trend. So which row shows the correct trends in reactivity, density, and melting point of the elements going down group 2 of the periodic table? Only the reactivity trend is clear, which is increasing down the group. So either C is correct or D is correct. Both A and B is incorrect. So in case of D, we have no clear trend for density and no clear trend for melting point. So D will be the right answer in this case. Number 20, a new element, oxfordium OX, was discovered with the following properties. Solubility in water, it's insoluble in water. Electrical conductivity, it does not conduct electricity. The formula of the element is OX2. Bonding in a molecule of OX2 is OX triple bond OX. In which group of the periodic table should the new element be placed? We have group 3, 5, 7, 8. You can't have in 8 either A, B or C is correct. So 3, 5 and 7. 3, 5 and 7. Group 3 is the metallic. So metals won't form a molecule. They exist as discrete units or metal cations. So obviously group 3 is also incorrect. So both A and D is incorrect. We are left with 5 and 7. Both 5 and 7 are non-metals and both exist in the diatomic, 7 exists in the diatomic state or molecular form, diatomic state. 5, in 5 we have nitrogen. Nitrogen forms a triple bond with another nitrogen existing in diatomic state. But group 7, they exist in diatomic state, they exist as diatomic, like Cl2, Br2, I2, etc. Group 5 forms N triple bond N. In case of group 7, you have only single covalent bonds. For Cl2, we have Cl single bond Cl, not Cl triple bond Cl. So obviously, B will be the right answer in this case. Question number 21. Which row describes a similarity and a difference between chlorine and bromine? Chlorine and bromine belongs to group 7. This is chlorine and bromine, and this is group 7. Choice A. Both are gases at room temperature and pressure. Both of these are not gases at room temperature pressure. Only chlorine is gas and bromine exists in the liquid state. So A is incorrect. B. Both exist as diatomic molecules. Chlorine is more dense than bromine. Well, both exist as diatomic molecule. This statement is correct, but chlorine is less dense than bromine. The reason is that chlorine is gas and bromine is liquid, which means that chlorine has low density than bromine. So this statement is also incorrect. C. Both have atoms with 7 outer shell electrons. This statement is also correct. Only bromine will react with aqueous sodium chloride. This is incorrect. The reason is that bromine is below chlorine and the reactivity trend is that the reactivity decreases down the group. Only one statement is left, so this must be the right statement. I'm reading the statement. Both react with aqueous potassium iodide. Yes, both will react because chlorine and bromine both are above iodine. Difference, chlorine is more reactive than bromine. This is also correct. So these two statements are correct, both similarity and difference. Number 22, which statement describes transition elements? So here we are having transition elements in the middle of the periodic table. Transition elements. They have high densities and high melting points. This statement looks correct to me. For your convenience, I am reading the other statements. They have high densities and low melting points. This is incorrect. C. They have low densities and high melting points. This is also incorrect. D. They have low densities and low melting points. This is also incorrect. So only choice A is correct. 23. Which gas is made when powdered zinc is added to dilute hydrochloric acid? This is the reaction between acid and metal. Zinc is a metal. Hydrochloric acid is an acid. So whenever acid reacts with metal, hydrogen gas is produced. So this one is very easy. C will be the right answer. Number 24. The diagram represents the structure of a solid. This solid looks alloy. As you can see, different size atoms are in this diagram. Which solid does the diagram represent? So we have only brass that can be represented by this diagram. Neither graphite nor sodium chloride can be represented by this diagram. So B will be the right answer in this case. Number 25. Steel is an alloy of iron. Which statement explains why steel is stronger than iron? Steel contains carbon, which is very hard substance. This is wrong. Because carbon is soft. B, the carbon atoms in steel bond together very strongly. Now the carbon atoms are not bonded very strongly in steel. They are mixed to form an alloy steel. So B is also incorrect. C, the carbon atoms in steel make the iron atoms bond together very strongly. So they are not making the iron atoms uh, bonding stronger. They just increase or changes the properties of the steel, like high carbon and low carbon steel. Due to the addition of different contents of carbon, the properties of steel is altered. So this is also incorrect. Only D is correct. The carbon atoms prevent layers of iron atoms from sliding over each other. This is correct because it's an alloy. Steel is an alloy, and alloy you have different size atoms prevent the layers of metal atoms from sliding over each other. Moving to question number 26. Three students X, Y, and Z are told that a solid P reacts with dilute acids and also conducts electricity. The table shows the students' suggestions about the identity of P. X, copper, Y, iron, Z, zinc. Which students are correct? Now they are saying the solid P reacts with dilute acid. So copper will not react with dilute acid, it will react with concentrated acid. So obviously choice A and B is incorrect. What about Y? Iron. Yes, iron, it will react with dilute acid because it is above hydrogen in the reactivity series. Copper is below hydrogen in the reactivity series. So iron will definitely react with dilute acid, and it will also conduct electricity. In fact, all these three are conductors of electricity. Good conductor of electricity. So what about Z? Z is graphite. Z is graphite. Graphite does not react with dilute acid, only conduct electricity. So C will be the right answer in this case. Number 27. Which statement explains why aluminium appears to be unreactive? We all know that aluminium forms a protective oxide layer which prevents its further reaction. So it's coated in an oxide layer. This is the only correct answer for this question. Number 28, during the electrolysis of aluminium oxide, the mass of the carbon anode changes. Which row describes the change and gives a reason for this change? Choice A, mass change of the anode. The mass change of the anode is that it will decrease. So either A is correct or B is correct. Both C and D is incorrect because in C and D, they mentioned the increase in mass of the anode. I've already told you that try to narrow down your choices. Now you are left with A and B. So it becomes easier to choose between these two. Now let's see the reasons. For choice A, carbon reacts to form carbon dioxide. This looks correct to me. B, carbon dissolves in molten cryolite. This is wrong because carbon does not dissolve molten cryolite. Uh, uh, Carbon reacts with oxygen to form carbon dioxide. So only A will be the right answer for this question. Question number 29. Several processes are used to treat domestic water. Which row identifies a reason for the given process? Chlorination, reason removes impurities. This is wrong. B, filtration removes insoluble solid. This looks correct to me. For your convenience, I am reading the other statements. Process sedimentation, it removes soluble solid. This is wrong. It removes fine particles. Use of carbon kills bacteria. So this is also wrong. Only choice B will be the right answer. What is the equation for photosynthesis? You know the equation of photosynthesis involves the reaction between carbon dioxide and water to produce glucose and oxygen. So only choice B will be the right answer in this case. 31. Which statement describes how these CH bonds in methane gas in the atmosphere contribute to global warming? You know that methane gas is a greenhouse gas. It absorb thermal energy from the earth and emit all this energy towards the uh, emit some of this energy towards the earth. So choice D will be the right answer in this case. 32. The structural formula of two hydrocarbons are shown. These are the two hydrocarbons. Which statement about the hydrocarbons is correct? A, they are both alkenes. No, they are not alkenes, so this is incorrect. B, they decolorize aqueous bromine. This is also incorrect. They don't have any carbon-carbon double bond. If you draw the displayed formula for this one, I am drawing for your convenience. First one, we have 4 carbon, 2, 3, 4. You can see we don't have any carbon-carbon double bond here, so it will not decolorize aqueous bromine. I will draw the other structure also. I am not showing the hydrogen atoms. The bonds are of hydrogen atoms. So both of these doesn't have any carbon-carbon double bond, though they don't decolorize aqueous bromine. See, they are structural isomers. Yes, this is correct. They are structural isomers. You can see the difference in the structure. They have same molecular formula but different structure. If you write the molecular formula, you will get this C4H10 for both of these. Number D, they undergo addition reaction. This is also incorrect. The reason is that for addition reaction, there must be at least one carbon-carbon double bond in the structure. Number 33, the structure formula of compound Q is given. What is compound Q? So if you look at the structure, this part is alkanoate. And this part is alkyl coming from the alcohol. So how many carbons? 1, 2, 3. So it must be propyl. Propyl. What about the alkanoate? Alkanoate is coming from carboxylic acid. So how many carbon atoms? 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have propyl butanoate. This must be propyl butanoate. So C must be the right answer for this question. Number 34. The fractional distillation of petroleum is shown. Which fraction contains hydrocarbons with the longest chain length? You know that at the bottom of the distillation column, the hydrocarbon must have longest carbon chain. So D will be the right answer in this case. This one is the easiest one. 35. Which equation represents the cracking of an alkane? Whenever you crack an alkane, you will either get smaller alkane plus alkene or alkene plus hydrogen gas. So only choice D seems to be correct to me, because in choice 1, cracking produces only one molecule. This is wrong. Choice B, this is the addition reaction. This is also incorrect. C, decomposition giving carbon and hydrogen gas. This is also incorrect. D will be the right answer in this case. Number C, 36. What is the structure of the product of the reaction of propene with bromine? So I'm drawing the displayed formula of propene here. So propene is this. This is propene. 1, 2, 3. There must be one carbon-carbon double bond. It's propene. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. These are hydrogen atoms. Placing the hydrogen atoms. So when you react this with bromine, this is bromine, Br, you will get this 1, 2, 3. There must be 2 bromine beside hydrogen atoms. So one of these structure must be having bromine atoms on 2 adjacent carbon atoms. Remember, so C will be the right answer because you see bromine is placed on 2 adjacent carbon atoms. B can't be the right answer because double bond still there. A also can't be the right answer because you are getting this by addition of HBr, not bromine, that is Br. This is incorrect. D, you can't get D. The reason is that position of Br. Both of these Br, they are not on adjacent carbon atoms. They are on one and first and third position. So this is also incorrect. Question number 37. In reaction R, 2000 molecules of CH2 react to form a single molecule X only. So it looks that it's forming a polymer. This is a reaction involving polymerization. So we have 2000 molecules of CH2 is, or CH2 double bond, CH2 is alkene, ethene, it's in fact ethene, and we are getting X. X is the polymer and CH2 double bond, CH2 is the monomer. Which term describes reaction R, CH2 double bond, CH2 and X? So reaction R is addition reaction and CH2 double bond, CH2 is monomer, X is the polymer. So A will be the right answer. Number 38. Part of the structure of a polymer is shown. The polymer is given. Which statements about the polymer are correct? Number 1, the polymer is nylon. It can't be nylon. The reason is that nylon is produced when diamine reacts with either dicarboxylic acid or diacyl chloride. So it means you must have an H bond on a molecule on a one repeating unit, both side of the one repeating unit. So you're not getting NH on both sides. You have C double bond O and NH on one side. So this can't be the nylon. Number 2, the polymer is formed by condensation polymerization. This is correct. So the reason is that it is formed by the condensation polymerization whenever diamine reacts with dicarboxylic acid or the other polymers of this kind. They are produced, they undergo condensation polymerization. They are produced along with the release of a simple molecule like water, H2O, or hydrogen chloride. So this statement is correct. Third, there are ester linkages between the monomers. So this is wrong. This is the linkage which is not ester. This is polyamide. So this statement is also incorrect. So only 2 is correct. So C will be the right answer in this case. 39. The concentration of acids and alkalis can be determined by titration. Which pieces of equipment are needed to perform a titration? We need pipette, we need burette. We don't need thermometer. 1, we don't need this gas setting. So D will be the right answer in this one. The last one, which chromatogram shows how the RF value of a substance is calculated? Now you want to calculate the RF value. So what is the formula of RF? RF, distance traveled by the solute, distance traveled by the solute divided by distance traveled by solvent. So in this case, B seems to be the right answer. You see, RF value for Y is calculated by dividing Y by X. X is the distance traveled by the solvent and Y is the distance traveled by the solute Y. Thanks for watching. Press like and share my videos. For more videos, subscribe to my channel, press the bell icon.